Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's my 50th video that I have done for YouTube, so I thought I would combine a general garden walk around, so kind of my September sort of tour video, combine that with just talking about the growth of the channel, what I plan to do in the future. So let's have a little walk around. So it's been 2 years that I've been, well, 2 seasons that I've been producing these YouTube videos and sort of little guides to exotic gardening. And yeah, it's been good fun. It's been hard work. Um, it's not always easy to edit all the videos and create all the content and everything. So I try and keep the channel as genuine as possible, as in I, rather than trying to kind of look flash and things like that, just trying to kind of, as I come across issues in the garden or little changes that I'd like to make to the garden, I try and sort of document those with my videos. And I find it really helps me actually in the winter time, because I can relook at these videos. I can see from obviously the date that I've shot the video, I can actually see the growth of the plants, how these look in kind of, June, July, August, September. So that's very handy if I'm taking out plants and potentially, replacing them with different varieties. So, and also kind of like I try and document sort of what the weather's been doing recently. So if we haven't had rain for a while, or we've had, a lot of rain, or, high temperatures, low temperatures, that kind of thing. So recently, in the last few days, we've had a lot of heavy rain, a lot of thunder clouds coming through. Today, we've got a bit of blue sky here, but it has actually been quite a lot of heavy rain. So yeah, it's quite difficult because we run an Airbnb as well as part of our a way to sort of increase our income, and helps us to, travel and see different things. So gardening wise, at weekends I have to fit that around Airbnb guests, and they usually check in at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on either the Friday or the Saturday, and they usually stay until checkout at about 11 a.m. So yeah, I get a little bit of time between 11 and 4 sometimes to do a bit of gardening at the weekend, which is normally that's sort of cutting back plants, weeding, that kind of stuff, because I try and cut the lawns and things like that during the week, because it's sort of about half an hour to cut my lawns. So I try and get a little bit of gardening done so that I'm effectively not outside, all weekend grafting, because I do gardening as a job as well. We've soon got a Halloween party, which is going to be happening towards the end of October, and also planning to. We're going away to the Caribbean for a little bit, so I'm hoping with that little holiday I can document. There should be lots of palm trees, coconut palm trees, and I'll try and do a few videos while I'm out there. So that will be coming up later on in the year. And I try and do, obviously, as part of the channel, I don't just document all my, the garden changes and getting ready for open days and things like that. I also try and document my visits to various gardens around the UK, and obviously if I'm abroad and it's appropriate, I will then shoot videos for just to give a kind of more general, just to show all the different types of plants in other countries and stuff. So that's good fun. And yeah, so that's all my sort of documenting of the channel and everything. And I think for next year, one of my sort of aims that I'm going to try and do is to just create a bit more content on a regular basis. So try and at least shoot at least one video per week. It's a bit erratic at the moment, mainly because of sort of time constraints. So yeah, these are my palms that I've kind of grown from very, very small. They're actually looking pretty good at the moment. In the greenhouse, it's a little bit more prepped, ready for winter. So obviously after the Halloween party, I'm going to have to bring in a load of the plants to protect them when I'm away on holiday, in case we have any hard frosts. Obviously autumn leaves are starting to fall off of the maples. The variegated maple is definitely dropping its leaves. Let's get a better view of this border. Step back a little bit. So last year I had the big ricinus in the middle of this shot now. It's effectively, I've grown one on this side which is not grown as big, but it still looks good. So yes, back to the direction of the channel next year is really just trying to get those regular videos out. The garden should be, each year that goes by, it should be getting sort of even more mature. So I'll be able to, talk about the sizes of the plants, particularly the palms, how fast they're growing in my location, which is in southern England. And also I want to try and document a little bit more of, what's not going right, if particular plants are not surviving very well and stuff, and just go into a little bit more detail as to why I think that's happening. Very pleased with the progress of these Inseti bananas. They're growing huge this year despite a kind of lack of heat, really. Not been particularly hot summer. We've had a few hot days, but nothing mega hot like previous years. You can see the plants are starting to sort of go into their autumnal look. It's been quite dry actually in this section, so even though we've had rain, it's a bit dry down there. I think it's going to start raining in a minute. Blue sky's gone. So really next year there shouldn't be too much of digging up plants and moving it around in the winter, which I did in previous years, because I've kind of got most things where they need to be. So obviously I'm going to have to find some sort of different content to kind of talk about. I think also as you get more experience of these things, it builds on your knowledge, and you can kind of I don't know, when you're talking about things, you can just put more detail in there, because you can say, the textbooks say that this plant will grow in this way, But ultimately what you want to be able to do is to say, in my location I've tried this, this and this has worked, this hasn't worked, things like that really. A little look in the courtyard garden. Pleased with the progress actually. The cordylines, they're growing really well. And one of my previous videos I was putting the banana plant in the corner, so you can see we've got new leaves coming out of that. And I don't know whether you can see, but in the back there you've got some passion fruit flowers. I just noticed we've got some figs, decent sized figs. I hear the cat. There's the cat. Oh, very close to the camera there. There she is. Gonna have a quick look at the chickens. That's really the kind of the walk through the garden, just showing different views as well. Now one of my plants that one of the bromeliads that I put in the tree here, we've got a very nice flower on that, just hanging down. Got one chicken up here, and they're all waiting for food down here. It's like a massive flock of them. So yeah, really kind of I'm looking forward to the challenge of winter time, getting these plants through, and doing a bit of rearranging probably sometime in the early part of the spring when it's not too frosty. And yeah, seeing the kind of development of the garden and preparing for the kind of the August open day next year, which will be good fun. Hoping to offer a lot more plants available for sale, because this year I only had a few different plants, not a huge selection, so I'm trying to grow a load of like exotics and stuff in the greenhouses at work and also here at home. So yeah, that's the garden tour and my thoughts on progress for next year. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.